doing a full detail on this BMW R1200GS adventure bike. Now the owner just dropped it off, and we're going to be doing a full detail to get this muddy bad boy back into original condition. Now this whole bike has been through a lot of rides and a lot of adventures, and we talked to the owner and he says a regular Saturday ride is between 800 to 1,000 miles, and he does all different types of riding through mud, through forest, through back roads, and even on the highway. Now we're going to be giving this a complete detail with a foam cannon wash. We're going to be getting off all the mud, then we're going to protect it with Jetseal and Jetseal matte, and we're also going to clean up all the little spots like the gauges, the GPS, the luggage, and the windscreen. Now once we're done, this BMW motorcycle is going to look like it's in original condition, and the owner is going to be able to get it all dirty again. So now we're going to take it outside, get on the foam cannon, I'm going to go find Matt, and we're going to get detailing right on this cool adventure bike. We'll see you in a moment. So we pulled this BMW R1200GS outside, and we're gonna start foaming it first. Now the plan is to cover up any of the electronics, like the GPS on this bike, with a plastic bag. We're also gonna put microfiber towels in the exhaust to avoid any water getting in there. And while Matt's getting everything set up, I'm gonna pull off this soft luggage. The hard luggage is waterproof, so we can get foam on that, but I wanna make sure that this softer luggage doesn't get damaged while we're cleaning the bike. So I'm gonna work on taking this off, and then we're gonna start foaming it up and get all the cleaning. Now I'm gonna clean this bag separately a little bit later, just to make sure I wipe it down with nonsense.
You don't wanna let water get in the exhaust system.
Yeah, we don't wanna let any water get anywhere on the bike that's not supposed to be. The gauges are actually sealed, so we can go ahead and be fine with that. But now that I got all of the major pieces off, we're gonna get all this mud off. I'm gonna use a pressure washer to push a lot of this mud off so it doesn't scratch the finish. And then we're gonna foam it, wash it, use nonsense to clean the wheels and some of the other spots, and then bring it in and dry it. So we're back from outside. We finished washing the whole bike, foamed it up. Pretty crazy how we foamed it up, huh?
It was very, very dirty. Yeah, the foam really helped.
This thing was filthy, so the foam got in there and took out all the dirt. Now we brought it out of the sun because it's like 85 degrees outside. It's really hot. So we're gonna go ahead and dry it off using the Air Force Master Blaster from Metro. And then we also got these like super big, elegant, edgeless black towels. These are great for drying. We're gonna dry the whole bike. And we wanna make sure we just get all the water off and use the Master Blaster to get in all the little cracks. This is great for motorcycles. And then once we're done, we'll move on to the next steps.
So we finished with the first part of the detail on this BMW motorcycle. Now it's time to move on to the glass. So to clean all the plastic and glass parts on this motorcycle, I'm going to use the Signature Series glass cleaner. Now, Signature Series glass cleaner is ammonia-free. It's safe to use on any optical plastic, glass, or window tint surface. So I'm not going to damage anything. I'm not going to affect any window tint, and I'm not going to hurt the plastic in any way. If you look on some parts of motorcycles, like parts that have a plastic windshield, you need to use a microfiber towel. If you use something like a terry cloth towel, you can actually put a lot of scratches and swirls in the plastic, which will permanently degrade the finish and the optical clarity of the piece. So if you look on the front windshield on this motorcycle, I can tell that at some point somebody wiped it down with a substandard towel and a glass cleaner. I have all kinds of stains and a lot of swirls on it. Feels very rough. There's some bug guts on here that we're going to be able to take off, some light water spots. So short of using a machine polisher, there's really nothing we can do to restore the optical clarity on this piece, but by using the right glass cleaner and a premium microfiber towel, we're not going to make it any worse. Plus, we're going to be able to take off all these bug guts and water spots left over after the wash. So to get started, just like when I'm cleaning any other window on a car or around the office or home, I'm just going to take a couple sprays of the glass cleaner. I'm going to take my first microfiber towel, I'm going to wipe off any dirt or debris. I'm going to come in here. We have some areas with really heavy bug guts and residue right down here. I'm going to mist the towel just so I don't get a lot of overspray over the rest of the bike and really scrub all this off. Now, you want to use microfiber when you're wiping things like paintwork or windows and even optical plastic, because not only is it very soft, the way the fibers work, they actually pick up and hold any dirt or debris away from the surface, which helps insulate it and protect it against any scratches. I'm also going to come up here in this little wind deflector, grip my bottle. I'm going to clean off any debris that we have up here. You want to be careful when you're cleaning optical plastic like this. You don't want to go too hard. You might break off a clip or damage the piece itself. I'm even going to come in on the back side of this visor. It's interesting. You get a lot of bug guts even on the backs of these pieces here. So once I've removed all of the dirt and debris and glass cleaner, I'm just going to give this one more once over. This window is pretty dirty. So like Greg was saying, this is an adventure bike. This bike is meant to go out on the road, off the road, go anywhere, do anything. So this bike gets very dirty, especially on the window. See, there's even a little screen down here that I need to clean up. A lot of bug guts all over the place. So after we clean off all these surfaces, I'm going to use the 2-towel method. Get my second clean microfiber towel to buff off any remaining glass cleaner. So now I don't have any streaks on this glass panel. There we go. Now you can still see there's some streaks in here. That's actually some bug guts on the inside of the window. This is really interesting. Now, I don't want to really spray on the inside of this piece. Even though it's all plastic, it's all sealed. I also want to get a lot of overspray all over all the gauges and the navigation screen. So I'm just going to mist the towel itself instead. Same thing as if I'm cleaning the windshield on a car. I'm going to come in here to wipe off this intense bug guts. Yeah, it's really gross. Yeah, on the inside up in here. I'll take my second towel, clean off that stuff. Now we have no streaks, no more bugs all over the windshield. Now, Signature Series glass cleaner is great for cleaning windshields, windows, glass, or optical plastic. So I can also clean off things like the lights and the indicators all over the bike, even the mirrors, the navigation screen, and the gauge cluster. So I'm gonna get to work. I need to clean up all the rest of this stuff before we move on and seal the paintwork and do any final touches all over the rest of the bike. Stay tuned.
So Matt just finished cleaning all the glass, the mirrors, and the front windshield on this BMW adventure bike. Now I'm gonna do some final cleanups before we put on the sealant to make sure that this bike stays looking good. Now when you have an adventure bike or a dirt bike, you get a lot of bugs all over the vehicle, and as Matt probably talked about, bugs embed themselves in the surface and they like to ruin whatever they land on. So I'm gonna use some nonsense to actually clean up a few of the little bugs. I was cleaning the mirrors and a few little spots that have bugs embedded on them. So I took a bottle of nonsense. This is our all-purpose super cleaner. It's clear, has no color, no scent. And then I actually diluted it 10 to 1 in a professional bottle. Now this means that with a diluted product. I'm not gonna stain, I'm not gonna hurt the surface. And the main thing I wanna be cleaning right now is I wanna try cleaning the lower portion. So the front of the bike right here. And I'm gonna also try and clean the wheels. The wheels on the front and the back are very dirty. So I'm just gonna give them a good wipe down. Even though we clean them with soap and water out there, you see there's still a lot of dirt that's coming off these wheels. So I'm gonna clean this wheel. I'm also gonna clean the back wheel. And then me and Matt, we're gonna get on with the waxing, make sure we protect this bad boy. We'll see you guys in a little bit. So now we got the whole BMW adventure bike all cleaned up. The thing is washed, we got all the bugs off and all the parts are clean. And now it's time to protect the bike. Now if you have an adventure bike or a dirt bike or an off-road vehicle, you wanna make sure that you protect it because it's gonna encounter things like rain, snow, industrial pollution. It might even go on a worldwide trip. And you wanna make sure it's protected across the whole journey. So we're gonna put down the most durable protection that Chemical Guys offers, and we're gonna use Chemical Guys Jetseal. Now Jetseal is gonna protect the shiny parts of this bike, but if you've noticed, this bike isn't all just shiny. There's actually multiple parts. Like this whole side of the bike right here is actually matte. Now Jetseal is not designed for matte finishes, so I also have Jetseal Matte, which is gonna work as well. Now this is one of those types of vehicles where you need two different types of sealant to get the results you wanna give, because I wanna make sure that this part of the bike is protected as much as the gas tank on the top. Now to do this, I'm gonna use a microfiber applicator pad that's gonna give me a good grip on the detailing. And I'm gonna first take my Jetseal, and I'm only gonna put a little bit of Jetseal on my pad. I don't need a lot. This bike's not small, but it has a lot of small painted areas, and I'm gonna use the Jetseal to get that done. Now you don't wanna put Jetseal on any plastic or rubber trim. You only wanna use it on painted surfaces. So I'm gonna put the Jetseal on the gas tank and the front fenders and fairings. I'm also gonna put it on the clear windscreen as well. And there's also a few other places on the bike, like the drive shaft covering housing. I'm gonna apply it there as well. So now that I've spread on the Jetseal on the painted surfaces, I'm actually gonna use the same applicator pad, but I'm gonna flip it over to a clean side. And I'm gonna use Jetseal Matte. Now both Jetseal and Jetseal Matte are designed to protect the vehicle for up to 12 months. So this motorcycle is gonna stay looking good the entire year. So like I told you at the beginning, this owner, a regular ride for him is 800 to 1,000 miles. And even when he told me that, I was like, geez, that's a lot of ride. But the guy likes to enjoy his bike. Even though his bike's only like a year and a half old, he has almost 24,000 miles on the clock. So he rides it a lot and enjoys it. So we want to make sure that his bike is protected for his type of riding. There we go. Okay, so we got Jetseal all placed on. I'm gonna work on this side and I'm gonna move to the front, put Jetseal on the front as well, and work on this drive shaft housing. Matt's gonna come over here once I'm done, and he's gonna go ahead and show you guys how to protect all the trim, because there's a lot of trim on here as well. So I'm gonna finish up this job and we'll see you guys in a moment.
So now it's time to buff off all the Jetseal and the Jetseal Matte from the bike. Whenever you want to remove anything like water, detail sprays, wax, or sealant, you need to use a microfiber towel. If you use anything else like a terry cloth towel, you can scratch the paintwork with the towel itself or any debris that gets stuck in the towel. Once again, I like to use microfiber because it actually picks up and holds things away from the paintwork. So to buff off any residue, I just like to go in straight lines back and forth over the paintwork. I don't really need to worry about any dirt or debris because the bike is clean already. So now all I'm removing is the dried and cured Jetseal. Now if you use the right amount, a very thin and even coat, you hardly have anything to remove. It's very easy. I'll remove it from all this paintwork, all the fairings, come up here to the front. You also notice I'm using the four-fold on this towel. This is a very efficient way to use your microfiber towels. You don't want to just sort of grab a towel like this and then start wiping, because then you only use one spot on the towel. So if you fold it in half once and then again, you get effectively 8 different towels out of one piece of microfiber. Yeah, this Jetseal's coming off real easy. This is really nice. I'm just going in straight lines back and forth. I like to use straight lines just in case I happen to catch a little piece of dirt, or there's a rock or a dry piece of grass or something in my towel. If I'm going in straight lines, I'm not scratching the car or the vehicle as much. If you go in circles, you actually create a longer scratch. It's easier to see, harder to take out. So always have these good habits, wipe in straight lines. Okay, yeah, this is good. All right, good. So we got all the Jetseal removed. Now we're gonna move on. We wanna protect a few other little key areas around this bike. So I wanna protect things like this synthetic seat, and I also wanna protect this lock box up here on the back of the bike. This is a good little storage container to have when you're out on the road. So to protect these pieces, I'm just gonna use some Hybrid V7. Hybrid V7 is a quick detail spray, helps to remove any light dirt, debris, fingerprints, things like that from any type of surface on the exterior of your car, but it also has some spray sealant technology, similar to what's in Jetseal. So this is just gonna help protect these surfaces from things like UV sunlight, pollution, contamination, liquids, things like that that can affect the finish. So I'm just gonna give all these surfaces a few quick sprays all around. Then I'm gonna take my towel. This is a fresh workhorse towel. Just gonna spread it out over these surfaces. Sort of let it bond into this paintwork and the synthetic fabric on the seat. Just gonna let this go evenly into all the surfaces. This is nice. And then once we have it all spread out, I'm gonna flip to a dry side on my towel and just buff off any streaks and residue as I work it in deep into the surface. There we go. So Hybrid V7 is a great product to carry around with you. If you have a car or a motorcycle, you can leave either a 16 ounce or a 4 ounce bottle with you at all times. Just carry 1 or 2 towels. So if you're out on the road, you get hit with a really big bug or you get some bird droppings, something happens and you want to take it off the paint immediately before that can cause permanent etching or damage. You can use the detail spray to take off any of those bits of debris that can damage your finish. It also adds a great shine, so it makes things like paintwork really stand out and look a whole lot better. So now we're done with all this. I'm gonna bring Greg back out to do the final touches. Then we're gonna turn this very cool adventure bike over to the owner. See you in a minute.
So we're almost done, we're on the last step, and that's just cleaning this tank bag. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the video, when we foamed up this bad boy, we took off the tank bag just so it wouldn't get saturated with foam. Now, this is where the owner likes to charge phones. There's a little electrical connection that connects to his bike. So I'm gonna first attach this to the bike, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clean it. So I'll attach the electrical connector, and then there's 2 little clips in the front that hold it to the tank. And we'll do the last 2 in the back. There we go. Now the bag is ready to go. Now, the one thing I want to do about this bag is I noticed it was a little bit dirty, so I'm going to use the same 10-to-1 diluted nonsense and a yellow microfiber towel, and I'm just going to saturate the microfiber towel with some nonsense. And then I'm going to use this towel just to wipe down any of the dirt and the dust that's on the bag itself. Now, I'm not going to saturate the bag too much because there's Velcro and a lot of stuff sticks to it, but I'm going to clean the little part that says Wolfman, make it real bright and yellow again. And already just a few wipes of the nonsense made the bag look darker, and it made these little reflective strips a lot cleaner looking. If you have soft luggage, for your motorcycle, like a tank bag or a tail bag, or you have soft saddle bags, you can easily use Nonsense to clean all that type of stuff on the bike. We used it to clean the bugs, we used it to clean the tar on the bike, and now with the tank bag all clean, this is ready to go. So now we're gonna show you the final results of this motorcycle and see how awesome it really looks. Now you've seen the complete guide on how to detail a BMW adventure motorcycle. Now when this thing rolled in the detail garage, it was covered in mud, dirty bugs, nasty grease and grime, and all that road filth. Now this adventure bike looks like brand new in showroom condition. We took it outside, we gave it a foam bath using the foam cannon and Mr. Pink. We cleaned all the dirt and grime off using Nonsense, cleaned the glass using the Signature Series glass cleaner, and then we also put a coat of Jetseal and Jetseal matte on this bad boy to make sure that this bike can go around the world and ensure that it's protected. Now hopefully you enjoyed this special episode of Detail Garage. If you want to check out everything we use in this video, go hop over to the website chemicalguys.com and pick it up for your car, your truck, your motorcycle, or any type of vehicle that you're riding around in. Now hopefully we'll see you next time right here in the Detail Garage. Always remember to have fun, stay clean, and keep on detailing.